American Pakistani Public Affairs Committee APPAC organized state-of-the-art annual gala dinner. A large number of city and state officials, including U.S. Representative Mr. Tom Suozzi, Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar, Connecticut State Senator Saud Anwar, Consul General of Pakistan Amir Ahmad Addozi, Chairman of the Board of Directors at APPAC Dr. Ijaz Ahmed, Host Committee's Chair and renowned pulmonologist Dr. Parvez Iqbal, and the huge number of Pakistani American community graced the event. The American Pakistani Public Affairs Committee is working to create a government that truly represents all the people it serves. Please watch for a special report.
APPAC has always stood firmly with one core principle: empowerment. And this isn't just a word, it's a commitment, especially when it comes to empowering women. As a community, we understand that the progress of society is intrinsically linked with the progress of its women. APPAC recognizes the unique challenges faced by Pakistani and Muslim women and works tirelessly to ensure they have opportunities and support they need to excel. Please give me a warm welcome to Dr. Ijaz.
Thank you, Aiza. I just want to welcome everyone tonight for this event. I especially want to thank a few people, of course, APPAC board, who has done all this wonderful work, for the last 6 or 7 years. We are very thankful. But today's event, the credit goes to Dr. Parvez Iqbal. He is the president-elect and also chair of Gala Host Committee. Also Nahid Bhatti and Dr. Sadia Tahar. Thanks to everyone for coming today.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. It's such a pleasure and honor to welcome you here, and addressing this esteemed body is really beyond what the words can speak about. Thank you so much for coming. But before I start my speech, I want to really thank my team, the Gala Host Committee, and I'm so thankful to all of them. And they work day and night and deliver this thing, the houseful show in a couple of weeks. Gala, let's have a big round of applause for our host committee. APPAC screened. We screened many candidates. We screened, we interviewed, and then presented the name of Mr. Zahid Qureshi, who was accepted unanimously by both Democrats and Republican senators alike and was confirmed by the Senate.
The message that I want to give to the community, and this is the first time that I've publicly spoken since I was confirmed by the U.S. Senate, but I will continue to give this message throughout my lifetime of labor, is that once we identify qualified Pakistani Americans to serve in the highest echelons of our judiciary, or the executive branch, or the legislative branch, or the highest echelons of our law enforcement organizations, the only question that we should be asking those qualified candidates is how can we help?
I'm just gonna ask Congresswoman to come on stage. It's my distinct honor to introduce a remarkable leader and inspiring figure in our community, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. As a trailblazer, she has faced numerous challenges with unwavering courage and resilience. Her strong personality and dedication to justice shine through, even in the face of adversity. Congresswoman Omar has navigated the complexities of Congress and the media while standing firm against the many forces that seek to undermine her voice. Her ability to rise above bullying and adversity serves as a powerful example for us all, particularly for our youth, who look to her as a role model. Her leadership inspires us to stand up for our values and fight for what is right. It is with great admiration that I invite Congresswoman Ilhan Omar to the stage. Please join me in welcoming her.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. I want to thank the American Pakistani Public Affairs Committee for inviting me to join you, to be in community, to celebrate the important work that you're doing and your invaluable advocacy for the Pakistani American community and in working to build a strong relationship and roots so that Pakistani Americans are able to thrive, not just succeed, but thrive here in America, and that their voices are heard in the halls of power. I want to take a moment to thank Dr. Ijaz Ahmed. Dr. Ijaz was probably one of the first few people I met on this journey as I've been running for office and have been in office, who have always been willing to create connections of network, to be able to have the resources that are necessary not only to win, but to remain passionate about the work that we do on behalf of our constituents, of the American people, and for everybody that we care about around the world. I also want to take a moment to thank the trustees, the staff, and all the members of the APPAC, and thank them for the enormous work that they're doing. You know, I was listening to State Senator Saud Anwar as he was speaking earlier, and I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you all. You know, oftentimes we as an immigrant community, as a Muslim community, regardless of what parts of the world we come from, first come to this country with the challenge of establishing ourselves. We are thinking about where we're gonna set up roots, right? What city are you gonna go to? What state are you gonna go to? What resources are available to you? We think a lot often about what are we gonna study in school? What is gonna sustain us? Are we coming here with an education already? Are we starting over and coming as young people? We think about what it will take for us to be reunited with our family members, because we obviously don't want to leave our homeland and establish ourselves in a new world without having that familiar connection around us. And I remember when we got the golden ticket to be sponsored by Lutheran Services to come to the United States, we were really excited. And one of the things that my grandfather was excited about, I mean, I wasn't really that excited because I kind of didn't want to leave my friends. You know, I was 12. But my grandfather and father were excited that they were coming to the United States, and they gave two reasons. Those two reasons was, one, that there was a democracy, there was an ability for them to have something that had been denied to them throughout their lives as they lived through a dictatorship. That their voice might someday matter in a democracy, in one of the greatest democracies, that is the United States. And the other was because we had offers to go to some other places around the world. And the other was that in America, you eventually become an American. Think about that, right? These are refugees living in a refugee camp in Kenya, and their aspiration Their aspiration could only be lived through one country, and that was the United States, that someday they could be there long enough to just be an American. And so I want all of us in this room to think about that. Because without that, none of us would have the access and the opportunities that we have had. None of us would have the opportunities to build wealth, to build power, to build networks, to build associations. State Senator Anwar will not be State Senator Anwar if this country did not eventually absorb its immigrants as Americans to rise to political power. The 12-year-old that came to the United States only speaking no English, but hello and shut up. 23 years later, makes it to Congress. That is the American dream realized. And I say that all to say because there are still people within our communities that still think certain dreams in America are inaccessible to them. And it is not that only there are systems that make it hard and create barriers, but it is more so the internal barriers that we create for ourselves, right? To say I am only able to have a powerful voice if I dim my own power and my own light. That our wives and daughters can't make it to Congress with their hijab. And so I am truly delighted and honored again to join you all here tonight. And I want to leave you all by saying, you know, we as Muslims, as immigrants, as first generation, we have to remember the history of this nation. The history of this nation is one that is filled with arrivals of immigrants who have made their way in American society. And every immigrant group, whether it is the Italians that came before us, whether it is the Greeks that came before us, whether it's the Latino American people who came before us, every single group, the Polish, every single group has been met with resistance. All of them have been told, you are not worthy. You will never be enough of an American. We have to figure out a way to deal with you within the system, whether it's from politicians or just their neighbors and the societies they're living in. And today, for a lot of those immigrant groups, that otherness does not exist for them. And so we have to be hopeful and continue to fight for the day where that othering does not exist for us. And inshallah, I know that that day will come sooner than later. So Jazakallah khair, Quda Hafiz, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. It is my great pleasure to introduce a remarkable leader and steadfast advocate for the Pakistani community, Congressman Tom Suozzi. As the chairman of the Pakistani caucus, he is tirelessly working for our interests. Suozzi has consistently stood up for our community, ensuring our voices are heard and our needs are met. Let us give a warm welcome to Congressman Tom Suozzi as he joins us on the stage of APPAC Annual Gala.
Thank you, Doctor. Assalamu alaikum. So I'm so happy to be here tonight. I want you to know that Nahid Bhatti was pushing me so hard to come here tonight. Let's give her a big thank you. I found out that she used to be a ping pong player when she was in Pakistan, a world champion. So I don't know if the Congresswoman is still here, but is she still here? Okay, so let me just say that I want to just reflect on something that she just was talking about. You can move to Rome, you'll never be an Italian. You can move to Paris, you'll never be a Frenchman. You can move to Moscow, you'll never be a Russian. But you can move to the United States of America and you're an American. As soon as you adopt the idea that we aspire to. Because America is not a place, or it's not just a place. It's an idea that all men and women are created equal. And as the Congresswoman was talking about, we've had a challenge living up to that all these years of our history. So many groups have been discriminated against. When the first people here were really the Dutch, and then the English came, the Dutch discriminated against the English. And then the Dutch and the English discriminated against the Germans. And then the Dutch and the English and the Germans discriminated against the Irish. And then the Dutch and the English and the German and the Irish discriminated against the Italians and the Jews. And then all of those groups discriminated against the next one and the next one, and the African Americans that have had it terrible since the beginning. So we have always tried to become a more perfect union. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to come here tonight is I just won my re-election. And in my re-election, in my congressional district, Donald Trump won by 19,000 votes. So for me to win, not only the people who voted for the Democrats had to vote for me, but 20,000 people voted for Trump and Suozzi. So I know I have a lot of Pakistani American friends in this room that stood by me, both Democrats and Republicans that stood by me, and I won't forget that. There's so much potential for Pakistan, but they have to figure out how are they going to make it so that people can trust the system when they invest in their dollars. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody.
It's truly an honor for me to be here. Thank you, APPAC, for considering me worthy to be here in this amazing gathering and also in the presence of our Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Thank you, Congresswoman. You do such amazing work. Thank you. And you do it in a challenging world, and we should speak a little bit about the challenging world. We are going through significant difficulties if you were to, as we celebrate this amazing gathering, but it's important to recognize what's happening in the world. We're going through difficulties where 1 out of 5 children in our country is going through significant stress, anxiety, depression, unprecedented. People in the field have said that they have never seen this level of challenges that our children and adults are experiencing. And there are a number of reasons for that. I can touch on some of those. I use the term multiple C's. So that comes with a responsibility. And that responsibility is that you have to get to the next level. The collective ability of the community to rise up.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and friends, I've been told to be brief, but before that, I could be brief. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to you all. It's indeed an honor to be here tonight at this remarkable gathering organized by the American Pakistani Public Affairs Committee. Events like these not only celebrate the strength and unity of our community, but also reaffirm our collective commitment to a brighter future together. For far too long, the Pakistani Americans and the broader Muslim American communities have remained on the sidelines of the political process. This has highlighted the urgent need for an infrastructure that ensures fair representation at every level of government. Let us recognize the power of unity and the potential of advocacy to shape a more inclusive future, not only for Pakistani Americans, but for all other communities living in the United States of America. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and APPAC for leading the charge, and thank you all for your support let us continue this journey together. I thank you all. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Sadia Tahir, one of the National Board Directors, Chief Patron of the Youth Wing, and Chair of the Education Committee. One of the great dreams of the APPAC, one of the great missions of APPAC is to inspire our youth in our community to become leaders of tomorrow. And thanks to the great leadership of our Chairman Dr. Ijaz Ahmed, our President Imtiaz Rahi, our President-elect Dr. Parvez Iqbal, and all of our hardworking board members, that today I am so happy to present to you the beginning of this materialization of this dream in the form of our very motivated youth who have successfully formed an APPAC youth board. So please give a big round of applause to Arsal Ijaz, the president of APPAC Youth Wing, Vice President Ali Malik, to come on the stage and share with you the introduction and the achievements of the APPAC Youth Wing. Arsal Ijaz.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. My name is Arsal Ijaz, and I'm very honored to serve to you as the president of the APPAC Youth Wing. Thank you all for joining us tonight as we celebrate the impactful achievements of APPAC and its Youth Wing. The goal of the Youth Wing is to encourage young Pakistani Americans to get more involved in their communities and to learn more about politics, as we will be the future decision makers for our country. I want to highlight how we represented our community, advanced youth activism, and strengthened our collective voice and civic engagement. Together, we will explore how to continue this transformative journey. Before we start, I want to just introduce our lovely junior board, and without them, the Youth Wing would not be where it is today. First we have Manal Ahmed and Mudash Mashaf, who are our vice presidents of social media. We have Shan Sati and Ryan Sati, who are our general secretaries. We have Ali Malik, who is the vice president of youth outreach, and we have Zayad Qazi, who is our vice president of activity planning. This year has been very pivotal for APPAC Youth as we've really tried to hone in on and embrace our role in activism, civic engagement, and leadership development. We organized our first ever Pakistani Youth Washington, D.C. trip, which included a retreat with many congressmen, senators, and legislators, where we engaged in discussions about leadership, lobbying, and the power of youth advocacy. But tonight, I want to personally invite you and your children to join this growing movement. Parents, your partnership is crucial in empowering the next generation. Through APPAC Youth, your children will gain unparalleled opportunities to grow as leaders, connect with their heritage, and contribute to meaningful change. It's really easy to join. Just scan the QR code placed on your desks, and that will connect you guys to our WhatsApp, where you guys will receive updates, event information, and more. Together, let's continue to represent, inspire, and empower our community. Thank you.
I would like to issue a very, very big thank you to APPAC. The APPAC Youth Wing, above all else, has been an incredible opportunity for my peers and I to get involved in such a meaningful way. And I think that thank you is not just this organization, but the thank you is extended to this entire community. My peers and I have been very, very lucky to be born into a Pakistani American community that has had such unprecedented success. I can speak personally in my life, I've been very, very lucky to do exactly what I want to do, and it's only because of the hard work of my parents and all the people in this room that have made that possible.
Thank you to each and everyone for participating in our annual gala program. Congratulations, Imtiaz Rahi, Dr. Parvez Iqbal, Tariq Khan, Dr. Sadia, and all the organizing committee members. Under Dr. Ijaz Ahmed's leadership, we have been working for more than 7 years to lay the foundation for APPAC so that we can bring Pakistani Americans together and prepare our next generation to get involved in the political process of our country.
For the country, and I decided not to rerun for the presidentship of APPAC. America got a great president, and we have very high hope for Donald Trump, president-elect. So is the APPAC. We have President-elect Dr. Pervez Iqbal. There are so many similarities, and we are looking forward APPAC on a very high horizon under his leadership. What you see today is one of his talent show. The success of today's gala, we were sold out in less than a week and a half, all the tables, all the seats. We do not have the capacity more than 500. Our insurance does not allow, Marriott's insurance does not allow, otherwise we could have gathered more than 1,000 people. And this all credit goes to the gala chair and President-elect Dr. Pervez Iqbal.
If you like the privilege that you have, if you like the lifestyle that you and your family enjoy, if you like the comfort that you have achieved in your life, if you like the 401k and the balances that you have in your bank, you must protect it because it is in your interest to protect it. So I'm going to say two things to you which I want you to memorize and I want you to write down somewhere. And this is what APPAC is all about. Number one, communication to power. Communication for power. Communication at power. And communication via power is only possible with power of communication. No community, no tribe, no family, no person has gotten richer or rich without the proximity of the sultan or the power. In the old days, when the sultans and the kings, when they wanted to bless somebody, they would give them sheep and places to live, and they would give them horses, and they would make them rich. Nothing has changed. If you are not in the proximity of the sultan, if you are not in the proximity of power, you're nothing. Everything will be taken away from you. This is how it works, whether you like it or you don't. Ejaz Ahmed. Ejaz is a word in English which means mojiza. And he is nothing but a mojiza. And his incredible capacity to work with people. And if you work with those people, I know, I'm going to change in Urdu, आपके कानों में से धुआं निकल जाएगा अगर आप उनसे 1 घंटा काम करेंगे.
Good evening. My night would not be complete without coming to see my Pakistani American family. I'm State Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar, the first state rep with Pakistani origins of Multan, Pakistan, my ancestral homeland. And I serve with pride in the state legislature. I'm proud to say I introduced the first ever Pakistan Independence Day resolution on the floor of the legislature. Every year, we recognize as one legislature, Pakistan Independence Day. I also am proud to say I launched the first ever 5-borough Ramadan Iftar tour of any state representative, which took me to all 5 boroughs with our Pakistani American community. We've had so many achievements. This Thanksgiving, I've been serving halal turkey to all of my constituents. And I work with all of the Pakistani groups, including this incredible PAC, including ICNA Relief, including APPAC, and you are like family to me. The keys to my office are your keys. So everybody, I ask you to make me one promise, and that is, send all of your children to me. so that I can make them powerful as well. Thank you so much.
Syrians are proudly chanting Allahu Akbar as it looks like Syria has been liberated from the corrupt, oppressive Assad regime. Alhamdulillah. Takbir. Really, takbir. Takbir. Allahumma laka alhamd. Today is a day I never thought I would be able to witness in my lifetime.
मैं आप सबकी तालियों में बुलाता हूं उस्ताद अहमद अली खान।
Yeah. सुर्ख गुलाबा दे मौसम विच फुल्लां दे रंग काले फुल्लां दे रंग काले आज जाने किदे ना करो यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो आज जाने किदे ना करो मैनू तेरे जिहा सोहना होर लभदा ना मैनू तेरे जिहा सोहना होर लभदा ना बैठी जावां तेरे कोल रू रजदा ना मैनू तेरे जिहा सोहना होर लभदा ना मैनू तेरे जिहा सोहना होर लभदा ना धनी ने दा 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 धनी ने धनी ने दा धनी ने दा धनी ने दा मुर्शिदास पूजा में बिला खैरदा मुर्शिदास पूजा में बिला खैरदा सानू माही बिला दे वतन दा नाम तेरे जिहा होर लभदा है वतन प्यारे वतन पाक वतन है मेरे है वतन प्यारे वतन तुझसे है मेरी तमन्नाओं की दुनिया बोलो आज मेरा कभी मेरे इरादे हैं वही मेरी हस्ती में आना है मेरी मस्ती में शाऊर जा फिजा बेना तखय्युल है तो शीरी है सुखन ए वतन का जिसने मेरे दिल को दर्द दिया उस शक्ल को मैंने बुलाया नहीं जिसने मेरे दिल को दर्द दिया एक ख्वाब सा जो देखा था कभी वो याद रहा इस हाल में भी जो आग लगी जलती रही जो आग जली जलती रही जो फूल खिला को बुलाया नहीं बेहशी को सुकून से क्या मतलब बेहशी को सुकून से क्या मतलब जो भीगा नगर ठिकाना अब कुछ करा इस दिल के दरीदा दामन में देखो तो सही सोचो तो सही इस दिल के दरीदा दामन में देखो तो सही सोचो तो सही जिस चोली में सो छेद हुए जिस चोली